Hello, everyone. This is Sherry at Soul Conscious Tarot, and this is going to be the Saturn and Neptune retrograde reading. I was really intrigued by this. I had an astrologer, a friend of mine, put something that kind of teased me enough to say, hey, I think I want to do a reading on this and see what may come up for us here in the collective, what we may be dealing with, what wants to come out. I would like Spirit in the universe to tell me, please help us as a collective understand how this Saturn and Neptune retrograde period will affect our lives. So the Saturn retrograde goes into effect on June 29th and goes all the way to November 15th. Then the Neptune retrograde period starts on July 2nd and goes through until December 7th. So this retrograde period, this dual retrograde period is going to basically affect us for the remainder of this year. So what are we going to be dealing with? What are we going to, what can we expect? So the way we're going to do this is we're going to do collective. I'm going to do what's going on at a collective level, what we can expect. And then we're going to dive into, I think at the end, I'm going to maybe pull a little bit for each zodiac sign to see how these energies might affect each zodiac sign. So let's go ahead and see what we got here, what we're working with. Okay, I think we want, I don't know why, but it's telling me to put it that way, but I kind of want to see how. Now, I do know, I mean, I'm not an astrologer. I've never claimed to be. I am not. I kind of try and stay aware. I have a few astrologer friends, and I kind of try and, watch what they're posting and see what's kind of going on to stay aware for awareness purposes. But what I do know is Saturn is all about when it's not in retrograde. Saturn usually influences our discipline, our long-term goals, the boundaries we set, how we approach things, I think, to a degree, how committed we are to things. And then as far as Neptune is concerned, Neptune is all about like dreams, aspirations, inspirations. It can be a very, it's like aspirations is the big one that I think of, like Neptune can affect, what we aspire or dream to have in our lives. It's something that it's like, people that it's that energy of wanting to be a star or wanting to, do something huge in our lives, having that imagination and inspiration to follow our dreams, so to speak. It's a very dreamy energy. So what we have coming out so far that's coming through here, we have courage at the center of the spread. You're safe. Fear is an illusion. Set strong boundaries. What did we just talk about? We talked about illusion and we talked about boundaries. Well, no, we did talk about illusion. Let me rewind. So, but boundaries is here, and we did touch on boundaries under Saturn. But what I like that the way this is coming through, and this is where I want to kind of rewind a little bit because I didn't mention this. If you think about these planets being, like the things I discussed about each planet, and what they represent when they're normally not in retrograde. Now we're talking about retrograde. So this is almost like a retrograde period is a time of introspection. It's a time of it's like a pause, so that you can look at the things that are influencing these areas of our life. So for instance, this also is in the planet. Both of these are retrograding in the sign of Pisces, I believe. And Pisces is a very dreamy energy. So we've got like Saturn, which is all about priorities, like discipline, focus, priorities, prioritizing stuff. Now under this retrograde, we're like doing introspection work to look at how to, where do we need to redefine our priorities. Okay. So as they pertain to responsibility, commitment, what is our relationship to service, to commitment, to responsibility. And I feel like what's going to happen during this time is we may experience some karmic lessons that help us see in these areas, like how, where we're failing. Okay, so think about that, because it's going to give us the opportunity to look at things in our life and really examine how they're affecting us, how this is, what we're doing currently, so that we can change it to make it better. So think about it that way. It's like, it's about changing something to make it better. Doing that, taking that time to observe. So think about this. So from about, in the next couple days until the end of the year, we're given this chance with these retrogrades to redefine our priorities. Like, we may experience some karmic lessons. If there's areas in our life that we haven't been disciplined, we don't have a lot of discipline, we haven't been committed, we haven't been responsible. If you're somebody that resonates with that, then you may experience some karmic lessons that help you become more responsible in certain areas of your life. And so it's your relationship to these things. So what is your relationship to commitment? What is your relationship to responsibility? What's your relationship to service? What's your relationship to discipline, being disciplined? And so depending on what your relationship is to those different things, this is how there's going to be events that happen in your life that's going to help you really look at and examine those relationships, so that you're given the opportunity, and it's not a bad thing, it's to give you the opportunity to restructure, to redefine areas in your life that you may be lacking those qualities. It's where you're falling short. It's showing us where we're falling short. And that's just encompassing Saturn energy. And then we go into Neptune, and Neptune is just enhancing that focus. It's giving us that ability to, with Neptune going in retrograde, I feel like it's giving us this opportunity to have deeper perceptions and deeper insights and deeper introspection into the things that we dream about, that are our dreams and aspirations. So it's almost like it's giving us the chance to also, with everything, to redefine and look at what our dreams and aspirations are, and are they aligning to what we really want to put our time, effort, and energy into. So it's giving us this opportunity. Neptune in retrograde is giving us this opportunity to go deeper within ourselves, to find the answers to what really do we want to focus on in our lives. But keep in mind, though, because Neptune is the planet of dreams and aspirations, that we may experience during this time confusion, deception, disillusionment. So and the reason for that is because under this influence, I think that the energy or the influence of this planet in retrograde is to help us trust less on what we physically see, so that we're forced to go within. So we're like, any places where we have been, that is an illusion. It's like almost like being able to see through the matrix. We're going to get that chance to see through the matrix in the next like 6 months. We're going to be really able to just, like see beyond the veil, see through the matrix, see the illusions for what they are, see the deception. We're going to see where we've been, not only where others have been deceiving us, but where we have been deceiving ourselves as well. So we're going to be able to get past, so that we can really, so during this time, the 6 months, we may be really confused about a lot of things because we're going, like, what we knew to be true may not be true. And so we're going to really be able to start seeing the truth of things. And the only way we're going to know how to find our way forward is think of a blind person with a cane that's like a blind person with a cane tapping, to find their way around a room or through a place. This is going to be us in the next 6 months. We're going to be having to use our own intuition, our own inner guidance system to allow us to understand which way to go forward and what we really should put our time, effort, and energy into, if that makes sense. So now now with all that being said, let's see what we got there. What's coming out here in the reading to play with all that energy that we have that we're dealing with. So that's why I wanted to clarify that, because we have this courage coming in here, and it is going to take a lot of courage because, as I said, we're really going to be able to see during the next 6 months. We're going to have a lot of things. We're going to be able to see things for what they really are. The illusions that were around us, they're going to be disillusioned. We're going to be disillusioned. We're going to be confused. We're going to see deception, places that we thought were the truth. We're going to see where we were being deceived. We're going to really be able to see some things. But then, but part of that is like, there's these karmic lessons that might come in that really are going to challenge us. And so that's why this courage is here. We're going to need this courage to understand. I like how it says you're safe, because we are safe, because we may feel like in all this craziness that's going on that we don't feel safe. Like our future may feel unstable. It may feel like, the world around us in the next 6 months might seem like it's crazy and like out of control. And so this is, we can't trust what we see. We have to close our eyes. We have to go within, and we have to trust our inner guidance system. This is showing us, this is helping us. This energy is helping all of us as individuals become more spiritual in a way, but learn to trust ourselves and go within and know we're the ones that know what's best for us. There's nothing external to us that's going to help us figure out the way forward that's best for us. We are the only ones that know this. And so we're going to start figuring out this. And as we figure this out, we're going to start asking ourselves, why do we do the things we do? Why are we, why do we, do this and that? Why are we doing this particular thing in that way? Why are we associating with this person? Why are we working? We're going to start asking ourselves, or start looking at, when I do this, when I eat this food, it causes this reaction. We're going to start seeing how what we think and the actions we take, how that influences our external world. We're going to be able to start seeing the cause and effect, so to speak. We're really going to be able to see that, and we're going to be able to see, like I said, where, other things around us are, how do I want to put this? So there's a lot going on here. If you haven't noticed already, there's a lot going on here. Under this influence, this is going to be a huge transit. These two planets being in retrograde for the remainder of the year. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming up for all of us on a collective level. So one thing I do like the fact that we have the play card coming out here, because I think it's going to, it's going to be good for us to not get too serious, not get too serious about everything. Try and keep our energy a little bit light. But it's interesting because we also have, like, Neptune can be about practicing discernment and grounding, but So there's almost this need for grounding too. But I do like that we have the new beginnings, which makes total sense here. And I was told to look at the bottom of the deck, because I kept looking over here. I kept getting pulled to this retreat card. I kept getting pulled, and then I was told to pull the bottom card off of this deck here. And we have embrace your alone time. Learn to love. I don't know if that's in the thing here. Learn to love your own company instead of expecting someone else to make you happy. So there is this, I'm going to put this over here under the retreat card, because I feel like we talked about, this is going to be with Neptune in retrograde. This is a time of contemplation. It's a time for introspection. It's a time for deep going within, having that deeper perception, deeper insight into things. It really is that Neptune in retrograde is teaching us, like I said, to be that blind person with the cane and feel out life, with our eyes closed. Don't focus on anything external to us. Don't, because everything in our outer world, we're going to start seeing that's an illusion that is only projected based on what we are feeling and experiencing within us. So it's like getting our internal stuff, internal affairs in order, so that we can redefine our life, redefine our priorities, redefine our dreams, redefine our aspirations, and then how we're going to get to those aspirations. We're going to redefine what we're committed to, what we're responsible for, how we show up and provide service to the community or to others or even to ourselves. So I do understand there's this, definitely, I'm not surprised that we have this retreat and embrace your alone time. This is very much hermit energy. This saying that from now until the end of the year, spend a lot of time alone. Make sure you're spending time alone to have this contemplation or contemplative periods within this time frame, so that you can have these opportunities to restructure your life, to have this introspection, to go within to find the answers. Because if you focus during this time, if you're focused on external things, if you're focused on things in your 3D reality, you're going to feel very confused. You're going to feel very disillusioned. There's going to be a lot going on. I think that is going to be, it's going to seem like crazy or bad or confusing. And so it can mess with your mind, is what I get. If you focus too much on external things during this time period, and maybe what's going on in the world, or how somebody else is acting in the world that you're connected to, there's lots of things like, really focused on those external concerns and external things. At this, if you do that during this time, you might experience a lot of challenges, a lot more challenges than somebody who is taking this advice and spending more time alone, contemplating, really taking the opportunity to take this energy to heart, so that you can really apply it effectively throughout the rest of your life. This is going to really give you the opportunity to really redefine and restructure your life in a huge way, if you're willing to take the opportunity for what it is. It's going to provide us this huge new beginning. It really is. We're going to have this new beginning. This is going to increase our power, because now we understand our own power when we start going within to find the answers instead of seeking them outside of ourselves. It increases our power on an exponential scale. So I do want to pull one more of these. Okay, you want both? We'll take both. Why not? So we have sacred contract. You have a sacred contract with the universe. Trust. There is divine order behind everything. I'm sorry, I don't know if that's getting in the thing in the camera view or not. And then we have rare gem. You are a rare breed. Don't waste your energy trying to convince anyone of it. They're not supposed to understand you. Yeah, if you have to convince anybody about anything that you do, any action you take, if you have to feel like you have to justify, then they're not meant to understand why you're doing what you do. You know, it's not about it. It really isn't about what other people think and how other people judge you. It's all about how you see yourself and what you feel like you need to do and what is right for you. And that's what this is really about, finding out, learning these lessons, learning why, learning to find our own true north, which is only within us. It's nothing we can find external to us. And once we start using our own guidance system, once we start developing that skill, which this is what Neptune is giving us the opportunity to do, to be able to learn how to use our own internal guidance system on a grand scale. And once we learn how to do that, our life is going to transform in a huge way, okay? When we learn to trust our inner guidance system, learn to follow our own true north, not worry about what other people think or how it may look in the world around us. Doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter. Follow your heart, follow your intuition. It will take you where you need to go. We have look at this, inspiration. Look at that, inspiration. That's Neptune energy right there coming through. Basil, inspiration. Trigger statement, I am tired of it all. And you may feel that way. You may feel that way because Neptune is in retrograde. And what I say, Neptune is about inspiration and it's in retrograde. So with retrograde, you may feel tired of it all. You may be so frustrated with everything that comes up during your life at this point, depending on where, depending on how you've been living your life and the way you've been living it, I did say that we're going to, we may be during this time period, depending on the person, we're going to be confused, feel like we've been deceived in ways, disillusioned to certain things. So this can be, where we can get really tired. That's why, there's this retreat, this need to retreat and go within. It's forcing us, what we see on the external world is during this time is trying to force us into that contemplative focus to help us go within, to find, to have that introspection. And we have the true statement here is, I find strength in my purpose. What do we talk about? Purpose. Purpose is touching on that Saturn energy. Saturn energy, redefining our priorities, our purpose, knowing what our purpose is, knowing what we're going to invest our time, energy, and effort into. What are we committed to? Are we committed to the right things? What are we, what are we responsible for and what are we not responsible for? Holding ourselves accountable, walking with integrity, knowing once we know what our purpose is and know what we're about and who we are, once we know all those things, which Neptune is helping us discover, once we know all those things, then we have also that Saturn retrograde, that's helping us redefine who we are, to help us know how, understand why we do the things we do, really getting down to the nitty gritty what our purpose is on this planet, you know, what we're here in this lifetime to do, you know, how we want to live our life. And it's going to be different for everybody, you know. So it's you know, that's what this time period is for, to reflect and go inside and figure out what your purpose is, and then align what you commit your time, effort, and energy into based on what that purpose is. Don't get caught up in other things that may not propel you to where you need to go. You know, you may be caught up in karmic lessons at this time, and those are to teach you, to help teach you, you know, whether you really should be focused on that or not. And I hate to say it, but there are some things that you may have to let go of, but society says that it's something you should do. You know, you may have been raised or taught, or society at large may shun you because of, you may be, you know, when you go within and do this introspection, there may be, you know, you may realize there's certain things that you're doing that are incorrect for you as an individual, that you're going to have to, that just don't align with you, that maybe you've gotten stuck into, but because of society, you've been committed to something that isn't right for you, you know, that just isn't, because society told you, or a family member or somebody told you, or made you feel bad about not doing it. And I know this is going to sound horrible, but I have to help you understand what I'm talking about here. There could be situations like, for instance, you know, maybe you have, you know, maybe you've had children with a certain person, and you and that person are just terribly at odds with each other, and it's just not going well. But society has taught us that we have to be there for the child, and we have to do that, this and that. But maybe when you do this introspection, you realize that you have a higher purpose. There's a higher purpose that you're meant to fulfill. And as long as you stay, you know, you stay tied in that situation, in that struggle, with the, you know, with the co-parent of that child, you know, you can't fulfill this purpose, you know, so it's getting away from understanding that just because society tells us that we're supposed to do something doesn't make it right for us as an individual. So it really is, you know, I'm trying to think of other examples of how this could play out. I'm really racking my brain here trying to think of how other scenarios where, you know, society would tell us, okay, so maybe you're somebody that's 50 in love with a 25-year-old, okay? Society shuns those kind of relationships. But if you're in love and it's right for you, and maybe there's a purpose, you and that person are meant to be together, and you know that in your heart and soul, because you know that's right for you to be together with that person, you may be shunned by the outside world for having that relationship with that person, even though you know that it's correct for you. You know that commitment and that the time, effort, and energy you're putting into that relationship is the right thing for you personally, regardless of what other people think. Maybe you decide to, like, throw your whole life away and go do something crazy. I mean, I don't know. You know, this is going to be the energy that you will see people do crazy things. Like, they may, because this is when you reinvent yourself, where you can really reinvent your entire life. So you might see people doing this where they're just like, they may see some people, you know, just throwing caution with the wind and uprooting and reinventing their whole life. And they're like, oh, why can't I do that? So they start thinking about it, and then they realize, oh, I want to do this. Why am I not doing it? And they go after that, you know, because they start finding those answers to the problems that they've been dealing with, because a lot of those problems they might have been dealing with have been structured in doing what they were supposed to do or felt like they were supposed to do. So if you feel like there's places in your life you're doing things because society has told you to do it, or because others in your life have told you to do it, and you're doing it because someone else or something else, a church, like a religion or a job or a family or society has told you this is the way you need to do something or supposed to do something. You may be questioning those things at this time, starting to question why you do the things you do, why you invest the way you invest, examining what your priorities are and why those are your priorities. And once you realize, there may be things that come up that you realize are not for you. So keep that in mind. So there's going to be some craziness going on. So just keep that in mind. Hope, Diamond, Wrath. The best fighter is never angry. So yeah. So if you think about, the first thing that popped in my mind, I kept seeing these flashes of like the old like karate and like karate taekwondo movies, like Bruce Lee, that it, or even what was that? Why can't I think of the name of it off the top of my head? The wax on, wax off. I can see the Mr. Miyagi, Karate Kid. Thank you. It really is about having discipline, that when you have purpose, when you know what your purpose is, going back to this purpose, I find strength. I like how this is falling right under the courage. When I have strength, I can find strength in my purpose. So when you know what your purpose is, and this Neptune retrograde is giving you the chance to figure out what your purpose is, by giving you the chance to go deep within yourself and to find the answers to what your purpose is. And once you know what your purpose is, once you're a man with a mission, you will have the strength and the courage to overcome any obstacle. You will be a man on a mission, and there's nothing that will stand in your way. This is why it's saying the best fighter's never angry, because, think about those, like I said, people that do martial arts. They're taught to be disciplined. They're taught to know just how to strike perfectly, to watch their opponent, to plan their attacks, and they don't let emotions, they don't let anything affect them. They stay very calm and balanced, and because they have a purpose. They're very disciplined, and that's what we're trying to get to. This is what this energy is trying to help us do on an individual level. This is the collective, but like at an individual level, as we begin to do this, it's going to change the world around us. So it's actually going to affect the collective as a whole. We're going to start seeing people standing up for themselves, having these new beginnings, being self-empowered, really understanding the balance between, like, I feel like work and play, like being able to knowing when it's a time to be active and knowing when it's a time to be silent. So it's like finding that balance. I like how this is coming out between, like, I like that this is sun energy too, because this is giving me very sun, like active energy. And this is giving me, this looks like almost like a moon. So it's like the sun and the moon. It's like finding that balance between our active selves and our passive selves. It's finding that balance, having the courage to find that balance, to get ourselves into balance, to find our purpose, understanding that we are this rare gem. I like that we have the diamond here and the diamond here, finding that we matter, that we do have a purpose, that there is something, a mission that we're here to fulfill. We have this sacred contract that there's something, there's a purpose why we're here. We're all here for a reason. And this is giving us the opportunity to really understand what that reason is, and to help us push anything out of the way that's been clouding our judgment, that's been an illusion. Like we're parting. I'm seeing the curtains parting. We're parting the curtains. It's like we're seeing the wizard in the Wizard of Oz. We're seeing the wizard. We're seeing behind the curtain. We're seeing everything for what it is. Okay? I love that. I love that that analogy came through. Thank you, universe, for giving me that. That was pretty. So let's go ahead. I want to go into tarot. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to clear these off here. So hopefully you have taken those into consideration. So let's go ahead and clear those off. Then we're going to get some tarot, and then we're going to go into like the signs. Like, see, so we're going to use, this is the Weird World tarot, and then we're going to clarify with the Witches tarot if we need to do any clarification, and see what comes through. If you have any questions about oracle decks that I may have used, you can put those down in the comments below, and I'll let you know if you leave a comment. Okay, so we have the Six of Pentacles in reverse with the Two of Pentacles, the Sun, the Devil. I'm not surprised that came out. The Sun with the Devil. I'm not surprised, honestly. And the High Priestess. Okay. So right off the get-go, I like that the Sun's coming in the middle of the spread here, because I really feel like it's finding our happiness, our personal happiness. But this is coming in the Two of Pentacles. We have that confusion. We have that confusion about what to give to. So it's like, because this is about, in like a give and take, like reciprocity. It's about what we put our time, effort, and energy toward. But this is in reverse, so maybe we've been putting it in the wrong things. We're examining that. We talked about that. I like that that's coming through to kind of verify what we talked about there about seeing where. This is interesting that this one ball kind of looks like an eyeball too. It's like we're seeing where we're investing in the wrong places, because this is Pentacles, so we're juggling those Pentacles, like the Six of Pentacles. We're juggling our Pentacles, and we're weighing them up. It's like we're the balls are in the air, and so we're looking at them, and okay, which ones are we going to keep? Which ones are we going to let go of? Which one are we going to release? What are we going to keep? It's weighing things up, and that's that. Weighing our options, weighing our priorities, that redefining, restructuring our priorities. We're contemplating that, which is, that's Neptune. Neptune is in retrograde. We're contemplating our priorities. We're redefining them. We're looking at them and saying, what areas of our life are we spending our time, effort, and energy in the wrong things? Like, where are we investing into the wrong things? Because what comes after the Six of Pentacles? The Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is about investing into things. So it's like, where are we, it's kind of like, what should we be giving our time, effort, and energy toward that's going to lead to the life that we want, that's going to lead to our personal satisfaction and happiness and joy on a personal level. That it's also going to help us see, at this time, our demons, our devils are going to come up. This is that, this is getting to those illusions. Like I said, the deception, the confusion, we're going to be disillusioned at this time. We're going to see things that were maybe, we thought things were worse, are worse than they actually are, or we're going to see things as that we maybe thought were good for us, but they're really bad for us, you know? Like maybe we thought we were okay, but we're really not okay. You know, we're seeing the demons, we're seeing the devil, we're seeing things for what they really are. So we're going to be able to see and face these demons. That's that strength, having the courage to face, the strength and courage to face our demons. But we can't face these demons until we know, you know, what our demons are, to understand them. Again, I like we have the High Priestess here, because this can be the card of secrets, you know, of keeping secrets. And so the High Priestess usually doesn't divulge all the information. You know, she keeps things secret. I feel like this lady is writing in that journal, writing notes in a journal. You know, if you think about when somebody keeps a journal, it's their own private stuff that they don't want to share with anyone else. You know, and that's what the High Priestess does. She doesn't share things, you know, she keeps them to herself. So, you know, I feel like, and we talked about the kind of that hermit energy, this need to go, to retreat, to go within. We had that come through with, which card was that? Let me find it again. Where are you? Why am I not finding you? Oh, embrace your alone time. So yeah, so we have, this is also, the High Priestess is using our intuition. This is going within to find the answers, trusting our gut, trusting our intuition, learning to hone those skills, you know. So I really feel like if you're moved to do so during the next 6 months, journaling can be an amazing tool. Writing, journaling, the meditation is going to be important during this time, doing a lot of reflection, so that you can see what, you know, like I said, where you're putting your time, energy and effort into. So let's go ahead. Give me a card on the Six of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups. That's also what we're investing our emotions into. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. This doesn't surprise me, because this is somebody that's usually, this is somebody that really doesn't know where to see. He's got that coin and he's ready to take it somewhere, but this guy is kind of stopped. He doesn't know where to take it. He's unsure. And I feel like that's what's happening. There's like this, we're not, maybe in the next 6 months, a lot of us are gonna to not really want to take like huge actions, you know, like there is going to be this more introspection where we're not going to be wanting to jump on huge undertakings or make huge changes in our lives. For some of us, it just depends on, like I said, like some people may be a little bit ahead of the curve. It just depends on where you are and how much stuff that you need to process during this time, how much stuff comes up for you. Like, how are you on your purpose? Are you on your path? You know, some people already are, you know, those people that already are far along on their path, that already use their intuition, already, you know, feel the world, experience the world through their intuition. And you probably see this. I mean, if you're paying attention, look at how big the spiritual movement is. How many people are starting to jump on board with spirituality, with learning the law of attraction, learning, being drawn to things like tarot, or being drawn to just trying to use their intuition to guide them, working. A lot of people are jumping toward energy healing and that kind of stuff, and moving away from some of the things that we've known in the past. And it's like this energy of spirituality is on the rise, where people are starting to go against the norm of society, of starting to realize where those structures in those old paradigms are failing them, because they're starting to realize, people are starting to wake up and realize that nobody else can tell them how to live their lives. They're the only ones that can tell them what's right for for them as as us as an individual, that some leader or government entity or whatever may or may not know what's best for us. We're going to, you know, I feel like there's going to be a lot of pushback against governments or big systems like that, big employers or companies that people are going to start pushing back. And I think we're going to see a lot of things failing because people are going to push back against anything that they feel like is not serving, you know, like the greater good is what I feel like here. So this is just exploring, like, I kind of like in a way that this is a page of wands coming out here, and I see like all this sun behind him. So it's like he needs to just turn around because like looking forward, it looks like there's darkness, but the sun's behind him. And so it's just like a matter of this person just needs to turn around and see that things are better than what he's perceiving them to be, because the direction he's looking is in shadow. So he doesn't see, you know, he doesn't see that there's the sun energy behind him. And I do like that there's this, he's got that wand and he's holding that wand, like I said, almost my little wand here. He's holding his wand and you know, this is what we can use that wand to guide the way, to guide. And what does the wands represent? It represents our passions, our desires. So it's putting, you know, it's feeling out what are our passions and desires. Our passions and desires, what we're being drawn to, you know, but we have to go within to find that, to find what our dreams are, our true dreams and aspirations, our true purpose is, okay? Then we have the Knight of Swords. So this is cutting through, you know, being able to take action and cut through the red tape. You know, I'm going to say it that way. So cut through anything that is showing up as stopping us. Because look how he's like, almost like causing us fear. You know, like this guy is intimidating. He's causing fear and pandemonium. Anything that's causing confusion, fear, pandemonium in our lives, we're going to cut that. We're going to have the sword. We're going to be a man on a mission. We're going to cut that out. And I like how we go back to that hope diamond, you know, about not being angry, just having a purpose, being strong and having that strength, because we know what we're a man on a mission. Okay. Not gender specific. That's just a saying. We're a man on a mission, basically. We're a person, okay, a person on a mission. Okay, I'll say about making gender specific. We're a person on a mission. That's what I think. And look at that, which leads to our own individual, the Nine of Pentacles is beautiful energy. This is independence. You know, this is knowing that we are the only person that we truly need to make ourselves happy, to give ourselves the lives that we want. This is getting out of, you know, moving out of any victim mentalities of feeling like, you know, like we can't do it. This is somebody that's truly empowered. This is somebody that's self-empowered. And that's where we're moving toward, is this self-empowerment. Why? Because we're using our intuition and our inner guidance system. We're using our gut, our intuition to go within, to find the answers, to lead the way, to help self-empower us, to help self-empower us, to help power us, to find that self-empowerment. But it takes courage. It takes courage to go to stay strong in your truth, your specific truth. Not anybody else's truth, not society's truth, not government's truth, not anyone, anything. There's nothing outside of you that can tell you what your truth is. Only you know what is right for you. Only you know what your sun is. Only you know what your guiding light, your compass is. You're the only one that can take you, help you to find the sun. You know, I think this, I like the depiction of this Page of Wands here where he's in reverse, you know, looking toward the darkness, because this is where I feel like we've been disillusioned. You know, we have been shown this illusion. We've been sitting in fear because of the judgment of others, you know, because of whatever fears we have, because they've been imposed on us, because maybe we're living, you know, we're living under societal rules that we feel like we can't, you know, we can't do what we want to do. We're restricted in some way, or we have fears, or we have, you know, we've been taught to be afraid, to stand up for ourselves, to go after what we want. Or like I said, there's this, you know, we're no longer going to be a victim of anything. This is it. It's also, you know, with the Saturn retrograde, there is this, you know, as I said, kind of this understanding what we're committing to, what commitments do we have in our life? Are we committing to the right things? Are we being responsible for our own actions? You know, self-empowerment, not playing the victim, not blaming society, blaming other people, blaming anything, placing blame on anything outside of ourselves for why our lives are the way they are. No, we're doing away with all that under this energy. The next 6 months, we're going to see where we're playing the victim. We're going to see this. It's going to be shown to us. And if you're playing the victim anywhere in your life where you are not taking accountability, not being responsible, you're going to see that you're the one at fault. There's going to be karma coming in to show you where you're failing yourself. Okay? Keep that in mind. I know that's hard to hear, but this is going to show you this energy under this, these two retrogrades into the end of the year are going to really show us, you know, where we are failing ourselves so that we can take action to change it, to self-empower ourselves, to give ourselves the life that we really want. And we're going to realize that there's nobody to blame but ourselves for where we are, where we're going, you know, what our life looks like is because of our actions, because of what we have done. We're going to realize that it's nobody else's fault but our own, which is why we're going to start investing into, we're going to start redefining our priorities, because we're going to realize that if we don't like something in our life, it's our job and nobody else's job to change that. I love that coming through. Amazing. You can tell that was channeled because I didn't stutter hardly at all. And when I get on, you can tell my energy. I'm sure you can feel it. The empowerment that when I channel it, it gets like that. So I didn't feel like the need to clarify anything further. I think the message that wanted to come through came through. So I don't know, I didn't plan ahead of how I'm going to do the zodiac signs. So I think what we're going to do here is get 2 cards for each zodiac sign and then just see what comes through. You know, see what additional messages what do we have for each zodiac sign, additional messages during the next 6 months over this Saturn Neptune retrograde. I think we're going to pull one card on what you need to work on. Is that how we want to do it? Okay, so I see how it's telling me. I'm trying to listen to my intuition. Because these are all intuitive readings. I read intuitively. I'm an energy reader, but I read very intuitively. So we're going to take one of the Oracle of the Unicorn cards, which is going to tell you what you may want to focus on the most during this period. And then we're going to get 2 cards from the tarot to, 2 cards from the Weird World Tarot to clarify. I don't know if it's clarified, but add to it if there's any extra messages that want to add to this main card. So let's start with Aries here. Aries, flow, needing to prioritize how you're surrendering or releasing expectations. You might be somebody that places expectations on things, that might need to control situations. It's talking about trying to learn to release control over certain things, learn to go more with the flow of things, live in the moment, go with the flow, let things play out the way that they're meant to play out. Don't try and control situations or outcomes. Okay? So we have the World. There might be some cycles in your life that need to come to an end, and you're probably going to need, I like this. This is, I don't know, is that a, I'm getting that as a lion, but I don't know if it really actually is, because I'm seeing a kind of almost a fox too. And it's weird that she's got like, there's like these, almost like these angel wings, because I'm feeling like almost like that's a dog versus a cat or a fox. I don't know. I'm getting a lot of animals coming through. So it's like almost like there's this, like you've been fooling yourself thinking maybe you have ended some cycles when really you haven't. There's some cycles that you need that need to come to an end. That you haven't really, you may thought that you ended, but you really haven't ended. I don't know, it's coming through kind of strange. Hopefully that resonates with you. And then the Page of Cups. So there might, this is going back to flow. I feel like with this Page of Cups, it's grace. So it's like having compassion and grace for yourself as you move through this time. Because there's going to be some cycles that need to come through an end. I feel like, you know how this, I'm feeling a very controlling energy off of this World card. Controlling the outcomes, like I said, because there's these wings that are surrounding this woman. That are kind of enveloping her, like keeping her, holding her hostage almost. You know, so it might be that you're holding things hostage in your life, not allowing them to flow, like they're closed off, like not allowing something to flow. There's something you don't want to let go of. So it's like there's something that needs to release, that you need to release and let go of during this time. And having the grace and compassion to do that, this can be forgiving. You know, Page of Cups can be somebody that comes in with an apology, but I feel like this is for yourself. It's like forgiving yourself and having grace and compassion for yourself for any places where you've allowed yourself to keep yourself stuck, that you have tried to control things, and that hasn't worked out in your favor. Things that you haven't wanted to release for whatever reason. Allowing yourself to release those things and let it, and knowing it's going to be okay. You know, it's okay to release it, or to release people, or to release something you're holding on to. Okay. I'm not sure. Hopefully you understand that message, but that's what I have for you, Aries. So let's go ahead and go on to Taurus. What do you got for Taurus? What does Taurus need to focus on during this time? What does Taurus need to focus on during the Saturn and Neptune retrograde? Past lives. Interesting. So it's funny because Taurus are supposed to be very intuitive people. You know, not all the Tauruses are, you know, like have honed that gift, but Tauruses are supposed to be very, 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 very intuitive, you know, very wise, very intuitive. So we have past lives. Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. So this is telling me there might be, for some of you, or take this how it resonates, but what's coming through for Taurus is there might be some generational healing that needs to be done. There might be some things that you've carried over, like that you've learned from your parents, and your parents learned from your grandparents. There's things, you know, maybe ways you do things that have trickled down over generations that are no longer serving you, is what I'm getting here. That's for some of you. For some of you, it might be past life work. It might be other lives you've lived. If you believe in past lives, I do believe in past lives. I do believe we reincarnate. I believe we are souls living out in a human experience. So we're the ones that have chosen to reincarnate our souls on this earth at this time, to be here during this time period. So it's like, releasing any karma that usually we come to earth because there is karma that we need to work out, that we have carried over from other time periods, and we're here to work out that karma. That's what we're here for. So this is really, trying to figure out what that karma is, to heal that karma that we're here to heal, the lesson we're learned. If you're not sure where to start, I will help you. Look at your South Node in your natal chart. That might help you start, because usually your North Node is your purpose. It's the purpose you're, around the purpose you're here during this time based on your birth chart. Your natal chart is your North Node is your purpose, whereas your South Node is usually the thing that you need to overcome in this lifetime. So start with your South Node. That might give you a good place to start. The Lover's card. It might be around, there might be something that needs to be released around either how you show up in relationships, or it might be a past relationship that you're carrying trauma or that needs healing around. There might be something that you need to heal around a past love situation. This could be a past in your current past or in a past life past. You might be playing out karma. You might be in a karmic relationship, learning a karmic lesson around love at this time. The Ten of Cups, not being pessimistic, not being hopeful that you can, this is somebody that, interesting enough, because this is Neptune energy and it talks about dreams. And for me, Ten of Cups is your dreams. It is your aspirations, your dreams. It's what you hope for. The star is hope, is actually having hope. Whereas I feel like this is like your dreams. This is the life that you dream to aspire to. And we are under this Neptune energy, which is talking about dreams and aspirations in reverse. So, and this is in reverse. So it really is saying, telling me that this might be a good time to really reflect on your dreams and aspirations, because they may not be, the right dreams and aspirations. You might not be putting your efforts in the right direction. You might think you are, maybe, because I know a lot of Tauruses are very, very driven, hardworking, driven people. Like they're all about material things. They like their money. They like their comforts. They like their material things. They usually are very hard workers because they like their material things. So they work hard so that they can have the things they want to do. But maybe that's not where you should be focused. Okay? So maybe that's not going to get you to your Ten of Cups. Wherever you're putting your time, effort, and energy to currently is not conducive to getting you to what your real Ten of Cups should be. Maybe what you're aspiring to or what you're dreaming of having is really not your truth. It's not what you really, really want. You think it's what you want for whatever reason, but it may not really be what you want. So keep that in mind. That's something to definitely reflect on. That's something to go within and find the answers. That could be something that could cause you a lot of confusion, a lot of deception. You might be deceiving yourself, thinking that this is something that you want when really, in reality, it really isn't. Okay, it may not lead to the rainbow. What you're doing now, or what you're working on now, what you're putting your time, effort, and energy into now is not going to lead to your real pot of gold, if that makes sense. Okay, so now on to Gemini. What does Gemini got to work on? What's going to be one of their big things? Man, these cards are coming out. You got 2, okay? So Gemini gets 2, compassion and innocence. So getting back in touch with yourself, not being so hard on yourself. because of compassion, being compassionate for yourself. Don't, don't beat yourself up is what I'm getting there. I think if I remember correctly, I think I read somewhere that Gemini might be one of the signs. There's a couple of signs that are going to be really heavily affected under this energy, big time. And I think Gemini was one of them. So give yourself a lot of compassion and grace at this time. I think your world, as you know it, is going to really, really be shook up. Okay, I'm sorry to say that, Gemini, but I really feel like I remember reading you were one of the signs that is going to really go through a huge, huge shakeup. Possibly, this is going to be a huge, huge transit for you in particular. I can't remember the other signs. I think Virgo. Oh, I can't remember. There were a couple others, but I can't remember what they were now. I want to say maybe Sagittarius. Okay. Get out of hermit mode. If you've been in hermit, okay. If you've been doing like keeping to yourself, like, how do I want to put this? Help me out here, Spirit. Okay, so what's coming through right off the top is I keep getting focused on these leaves, and these are fall leaves, and we will be going into the fall. Like this goes through till pretty much the end of the year, or at least into, like, Saturn will be in retrograde until November 15th. And Neptune until December 7th. So we go through fall into, like this goes throughout fall. So what this tells me is don't spend too much time alone in the coming months. Like, don't, especially in the fall time, you may have a tendency come fall to, maybe because of a lot of things that are coming up for you, that come up for you during this time, that you may, it's almost like this guy feels so defeated. I get this, like he feels like, almost like he's on his deathbed, like he feels defeated, because maybe this is going to be so harsh for you. This retrograde period is going to be so harsh for you that there is this need for compassion and grace to, I said, have compassion and grace for yourself. Because I feel like, you're going to be shown a lot of stuff. You may go through a lot of karmic lessons at this time to really show that, maybe to show you that you're putting your time, effort, and energy in the wrong place. And you might feel defeated by that. And the universe is saying, don't beat yourself up and feel, get in this stuck energy or feel defeated. You need to get in this playful energy. And really nurture your inner child. It's saying nurture your inner child. So find ways to recreate that spark. Like, find the spark. Not, don't get stuck in the details. Don't get stuck in that victim mentality of possibly feeling defeated by the choices. Maybe you're somebody that you're realizing some of the choices you've made. You've invested in the wrong things, and you're maybe beating yourself up for it. It's saying, the universe is saying at this time, don't beat yourself up over it. Show yourself compassion and find ways to get in touch with your inner child again. Find ways to nurture that inner child and find yourself again. Use this to find yourself. This is a time to find yourself again. Yeah, this really is. You put an end to things as things come up that show you're not investing in the right places, or you're not committed to the right things. As you see it, put an end to it. Give yourself grace and compassion. Let go of what's not serving you, and remember to nurture your inner child. Remember to get back to yourself again. Get back to yourself. I also am getting the message here. Find people that can help you get in touch with your inner child, which is why it's saying don't sequester yourself away. You need to find the people that will help you grow, that will help nurture you, that will help, get you back in touch with your inner child, that will nurture your inner child, that will help you nurture your inner child. Put an end to anything that is just failing and not working for you, that's keeping you from growing, from becoming whatever it is you're meant to become. Just let this stuff, put an end to whatever comes up that says whatever you've been doing that's not serving you, put an end to it. And find the people, like if you have people around you that are creating this toxic environment. I'm getting toxicity here because the death, and I said he feels like he's on his deathbed. It's like death is coming riding in for this person to come gather them up. If there's anything that is toxic in your life that's like causing you, like pain, heartache, really, where you feel like your life, like you're defeated in life, where that's really taking a toll on you. That's okay. Thank you. If there's anything that Gemini that you feel like is taking a toll out of your vitality, taking a toll out of your life, you need to put an end to that because it really is taking a toll on your life. Okay. Whether that be a bad habit, a vice, a person, a job, you're going to know what it is, but whatever is draining the life out of you, you need to cut that off because it literally is draining the life out of you. But to give yourself that compassion and grace, that's why it's really important at this time till the end of the year to surround yourself or find people that are going to nurture your soul, nurture your spirit, nurture your inner child, get you in touch with things that's going to improve your vitality, not take from it. Get rid of the energy vampires. Get rid of those things that are draining your energy, that are taking your vitality away from you. Find things in your life that are going to give you this vitality, that are going to lift you up, help you, give you more energy, not take from it. Okay. So, you're going to know what those things are. You'll figure it out. That's what this time period's for. So that's where I'm going to leave that. I did a lot there for you, Gemini, but I know this was a big message that needed to come through. So let's go ahead and go on to Cancer. I don't mind going long. I don't worry about times. You get the people that need to hear these messages will get them. You will skip around. You have the ability to skip around wherever you want in this video and watch what you want to watch in it, no matter how long it is. So let's go ahead and go on to Cancer. What's Cancer? What do we got for Cancer? Cycles. Got some cycles you're dealing with. Everything has its right time. So that's talking about divine timing. Honor the cycles of your body. Tune into the moon's magic. Okay, so for my feminines out there, this really tells me that it might be wise for you, if you don't already, to really kind of maybe get a lunar calendar and kind of pay attention to your moods and how they are affected by the lunar cycle, because you might find that and everybody should do this to a degree, is understand how the lunar cycle affects you, because it goes through different phases, and we have, our energy goes through different phases, and so if we understand how the moon cycles, the lunar cycles affect us on a personal level, we can apply that to our life to understand, like knowing when is good days to take action, when are good days to maybe take it easy and do nothing, really playing to those cycles, and understanding them, understanding our own. This is telling me Cancer, especially because Cancer can be, you guys can be very emotional, so it's understanding your emotional cycles, how those affect you, and taking responsibility and ownership of those, so you understand yourself better, okay? Because there's a lot of transformation on here, these butterflies. So it's like really understanding. You can transform your life by understanding your personal cycles for your emotions and your energy levels is what I'm getting coming through here. So we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. So this is like finding, I get this as removing the clutter and confusion, you know, is what I'm getting there. And the Three of Wands in reverse. So this is telling me that this isn't a good time, because the Three of Wands can talk about, you know, waiting for your ships, where you make a decision and you're waiting for you're waiting to see what happens. Like you maybe make a decision or move towards something, and then you're waiting for your ships to come in. You know, you're waiting for something to happen. But this is coming through in reverse. So this is almost saying, you know, don't place too, because we also had time on this. Everything happens in the right time, has its right time. So this is saying that there might be things that you're thinking about that you've been waiting for, and it's saying that, you know, that those may not necessarily to keep, like, how do I want to put this? To not sit around and wait for the things you're waiting for. So maybe, if trying to give examples of this, maybe you're hoping for a promotion, okay? But it's just not the right time. You know, don't focus on that, because there's other things that you could be working on in the interim. You know, don't put all your eggs in one basket is kind of what I'm getting. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, okay? Even this is like, there's, yeah, okay, so there's, because this is in reverse. So Seven of Cups upright can mean lots of choices. Lots of choices. So with the Seven of Cups in reverse here, I feel like kind of said, you know, don't get out of confusion. Pinpoint what it is you want to follow, what direction you want to go in, which is why I feel like there might be something you've been waiting for that it's not the right time for. There might be something that keeps cycling around too, because we have cycles here. And so it's almost like, I like how in both of these cups, so in both of these cards, in the upright, this person is looking up at these heads. Like he's trying to ask these, like going there to seek inspiration, or seek, like almost like telling me, okay, he's asking these, I get almost like the three fates, you know, I don't know why, but those are reminding me of the three fates. And so he's like seeking his destiny. He's going to ask, you know, hey, like asking for something, what am I supposed to do? Looking for a sign, looking for the way, looking for what direction to go in, because he is looking out in the distance, what's on the horizon, what's in my future. And maybe before there was too many choices, so it's saying to get, like, during this time, narrow down, like seek the guidance. But with the Neptune energy, it's seeking guidance from within. So go within to seek the answers, to lessen the confusion, or lessen the options, to know which one to invest into, to know which one is really, what is really your future or destiny. Because I feel like with the Three of Wands in reverse, what you may be waiting for, or what you may be striving toward, working toward, waiting for, hasn't been coming because it wasn't the right time, because it might not have been the right thing, or it may not have been the right time to act on it. Because it says here, everything has its right time. Cycles, cycles, cycles. Something's cycling. And it's causing confusion. There's this cycle that's happening that's causing you confusion. That you keep waiting for something that's not happening. And then you keep, it's like you, so you're confused. You're confused because it's not happening. So this is saying, you know, understand the cycle that you're in. Understand the cycle, Cancer, that keeps going on, that's keeping you waiting, that's keeping you in confusion, so that you can break that cycle, okay, is what I'm getting. It's like really understanding the cycle so that you can break the cycle, okay? I hope that makes sense to you. I really do. That one was a struggle. That one was a hard one to come out. I don't know why. Okay, so Leo, what do we got for Leo? Leo, passion. Do what excites you. Get fired up about your life. Increase your energy levels. I love how that looks like a phoenix rising from the ashes. So yeah, really going after your passions during this time. Really, really focusing on it. I think a lot of Leos typically are typically pretty good at using their intuition. They typically are pretty creative, passionate people. I mean, that's their sign. They tend to be extremely passionate and driven, you know. That's why the Queen King of Wands represents Leo in the tarot, and also the Strength card, because they're usually really good at overcoming things. So let's see what else we got here. Let's go with this passion. Okay. Got the two cards came right out. Four of Swords, really interesting here. So, and then the Six of Wands in reverse. So this is really telling me, Six of Wands upright is false victories. So this is telling me, it's kind of telling me to not put your passions into anything that's not for the long haul. Don't put your energy into things that aren't going to be successful in the long term, okay? Things that are going to be false victories, temporary victories. We don't want to put our time and effort into that for you Leos in over the coming months. We also have this Four of Swords in reverse. You could be tied to a Gemini here with this. If you're tied to a Gemini, you can go and look at what they had. Theirs was pretty hard. They're going through a lot. So if you're tied to a Gemini, you might want to be aware that they're probably going to be going through a lot right now or till the end of the year. To focus on yourself. Focus on you. I feel like you Leos have done you have done a lot of introspection. You've done some healing work, but it's telling me that for you, it's telling me it's time to come out of this. It's time to come out of this healing period. You're almost ready. Like you're almost recovered. I feel, look at the color matches here with the colors in this fiery horse and the leaves here. It's like, I think by the fall, by the fall season, you're going to be ready to come out of this healing or this like period of rest or recuperation or whatever you've been going through and really go after something. But it's telling me here, make sure you're not going after something that is only going to be short-lived. It's only going to be a flash in the pan. It's something, how do I want to, like a temporary or shallow victory, okay? Don't invest in something that's going to be a shallow victory. Make sure you're putting your passion and desires into something that's going to have longevity to it, is what I get. So, okay. Virgo. What What do you got for Virgo? Virgo during this Saturn Neptune retrograde. What do they need to focus on? What does Virgo need to focus on? Adventure. Putting a little more adventure back in your life. Where are you afraid to do things, Virgo? Virgos are really good at hermiting away and being, you know, keeping to themselves and not, they like their comfort zones. Virgos like their comfort zones. They like stability. They like things to, they can be quick to judge sometimes, you know. So this is saying, you know, you might have to get a little bit out of your comfort zone. You need to try and get a little bit out of your comfort zone during this time. You may be forced out of your comfort zone. The Ten of Pentacles. And get out of your own head. Get out of your own head. Go out and have some fun. The Ten of Pentacles here, I like how these people are looking at this house. So this is looking at your house. What is the house that you have built for yourself? What is the Ten of Pentacles that you have built for yourself? Your structure, your life, your structure. You know, this is your world as you know it. What have you built? You know, what is the life that you've built for yourself? Really look at that. And does it allow for you to have enough adventure and fun in your life? Because it's interesting that this is coming through as almost like the Addams Family. I mean, it's so grim and dark and dreary. It's like these people almost look like they don't want to go into that house. They look like they're looking at the house like, is that our house? Is that what we've built? Is that what we really are coming home to? And so it says here with adventure, dare to do things differently to manifest your travel dreams. Is that what that says? Travel dreams? Yeah, travel dreams. Interesting. Move to a new location. You know, you might need to move. Like I said, I feel like these people are looking at this house going, is that really our house? Is that where we're coming home to? Is that where we're living? Like really examining that and saying, you know, is this really what I want? Am I happy being here? Do I really want to be here? Not happy with where you're living, not happy with where you lay your head, you know, what the life that you've built, like really looking at it and say, am I really happy with this? It's almost like these people are dreading to go in that house is what I get. So you might be dreading your home, dreading your house, dreading your life that you've built around you. And wanting to change it up. And this is saying, dare to change it up, you know, find adventure, dare to, you know, move, you know, manifest where you want to move to, what you want differently, what environment do you want? This is not an environment that's a happy home. This is telling me, you know, your home may not be a happy home. It may be causing you a lot of stress. And it's saying, you know, you need to get out of your head, get out of your own way. Because, you know, maybe you have kept yourself back. It had some self-sabotaging tendencies. Definitely can keep yourself stuck. I did say Virgos have a hard time with change, of changing things up or doing something, you know, like spontaneous or they want things to be stable and secure, practical, and maybe you're realizing that practicality has been causing you a lot of stress. There's something about lightening the energy, lightening, like you need light and life in your life. Because look how much light, like there's this light and like brilliant colors, glow coming off of here, and then we have this very dark, dismal place. And I feel like this is what several of your lives are like right now. There's no fun here, you know. And it's saying, you know, spice things up a little bit, you know. Don't get in your way, don't keep yourself stuck, don't worry about things, just have a little bit of fun, go out and have some adventure, go spice your life up a little bit, you know. You know, create a life that is got more color to it, that's not so dark and gloomy. Interesting. I don't know, Virgo, you doesn't look like your life is a very happy one at the moment from what I'm seeing. For many of you Virgos, you might be a tough one. I feel like you have some shit, you need to shake up your life. Have a little bit more fun in some way. I don't know how. That's for you to figure out. Okay, where are we at? We just did Virgo, so Libra. Libra, God, I like this energy. Libra, goddess energy. We have honor your divine feminine energy, see your inner beauty, love every part of you. So this is telling me, my Libras, that this is a time for you to really learn to love yourself. Give to yourself, feed into yourself, love yourself. Learn to love every part of you. Learn to accept you for the beautiful, wonderful, unique human being that you are. What you provide to the table, you know, like what makes you, you know, learning that you are worthy of love, you're worthy of being here, you're worthy of you know, you can do great things and achieve great things. Really believe in yourself, love yourself, tell yourself wonderful, beautiful things. You know, just really feed into yourself. Might be good at this time to really, like, if you're somebody that has like body issues, like what's the word for that, like very worried about your appearances or looks, or have areas of your life or that your body that you don't like, that you feel make you unattractive. Really give those areas some love, you know, like learn to love all of you, all of you, who you are, all of you, your body, your soul, your mind. Learn to love every single part of yourself during this time. Yeah, really pour into yourself. Look at the places where you have not been giving yourself love. Really look at, like, throughout your life, this, because Six of Cups is kind of reflecting on things. So really reflect on the areas that you've not been loving yourself properly. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles that wanted to come back up from Virgo's read. So this is your inner house, your inner vessel. I really feel like your inner world, everybody should know this. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, okay? So this is just telling me that once you focus on your inner world, your outer world will change. This is talking about really learning to love yourself, invest in yourself, love yourself, and as you love yourself and grow in your Empress energy, and honor the feminine within you, and feminine is a energy, it's not a gender. So feminine energy is a nurturing, caring, loving energy. So once you learn to get in touch with that, once you learn to harness that and love yourself, it's going to change your entire world, your inner beauty from the inside out. It's gonna that inner beauty that you cultivate inside yourself from loving yourself is going to be expressed out into the world for others to see. Okay? So that's what I have for you. Okay, Scorpio, I think, is next. What do we got for Scorpio? Gentleness. Be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness. I only laugh because Scorpios can be very harsh. They can cut people off in a second. So, and it's interesting that it's saying to be kind to yourself, because you can be very hard on yourself too. you're not only hard on others, but you can be hard on yourself too. So it's just saying, you know, at this time, be kind, be gentle with yourself. You know, during these retrogrades, you might, you know, you might be having a tough time with some things, where you might, you know, as things come up for you, you might have a desire to take it out on others, or be hard on yourself, like beat yourself up, or be hard on others. So it's saying don't do that, you know, try not to do that during this time. Knight of Wands in reverse. You may want to, if you tend to be somebody that tends to be inconsistent, you may want to try and be a little more consistent with things. This one would come out Three of Pentacles. Collaborate a little bit more, work on things, learn on, you know, we said be kind here. So it's really this, like I said, there's this kind of this feeling of consistency coming through, because the Knight of Wands upright can be somebody that can be in and out, a little bit wishy-washy, a little bit flaky in a way, you know, kind of comes in and out, doesn't really stay around. There's not longevity to it. So this is kind of saying, you know, like if you've been somebody that has been a little bit like, tends to maybe stop and start things, or has trouble with longevity around things, that's something you might want to work on. But be gentle, you know, like be kind to yourself and others as you're trying to either work with them or work on this need to work on being more stable, having more longevity. But what's going to come with that is understanding what to invest in, and on a long-term basis. You know, what things in your life do you want to make enduring, that you want to make stable and long-lasting? Kind of committing to that to a degree is what I get. That's what's coming through, Scorpio. Sagittarius. Okay, what do we got for Sagittarius? Growth. Seek out a mentor or a guide. Take baby steps as you grow. Be willing to learn from others. So mentors. Kind of Gemini had that a little bit too. To seek out people. For them, it was more seeking out people that would add vitality to their life. This, I feel like, seeking out people that are actually, that you can learn from, that you can actually improve yourself from. Seek out people that are going to help you grow. If you have, look at the people around your life, like that are around your life, Sagittarius, and make sure that those are people like that are adding value to your life and not taking from your life, that are adding value to it, like that are helping you grow in some way. If they're not helping you grow, you know, you might want to, I don't say you don't need to cut them off or anything, but just, you know, kind of keep in mind, you know, who the people are in your life that will help you move forward, that'll help you grow and become something bigger and better than what you are. It's not saying that you're a bad person now, but seek and find, you know, people or cultivate relationships in your life that are going to help you continue to grow even more and more and more in the future, is what it's saying here. Queen of Wands and the Five of Cups. This is just telling me, you know, well, the Five of Cups is telling me don't invest in the wrong things. But it's also about perspective. Because usually on the Five of Cups, there's usually the three down cups with the two standing cups. We don't have cups on this card that show that. But what it usually is talking about is somebody that is not, like, they're focused on the wrong things. And it's interesting on this card where there's like this fog and there's like almost this double image, like there's this illusion. So it's almost telling me that maybe there are some people in your life that have misguided you, is what I get, that maybe have misled you or misguided you, where they have led you in the wrong direction because you followed their lead and they led you. It was an illusion. They misled you in the wrong direction. And so it's like there's this, that's why it's important to try and find people that actually will help you grow in the correct ways. And then with this Queen of Wands being here, I just feel like it's interesting because usually the Queen of Wands is very passionate and determined about things and puts a lot of, but this Queen is very reserved. It's almost like she's content where she is, almost like a little bit of judgmental energy. Maybe you have somebody in your life that's this Queen of Wands that might judge you, like they've guided you, like you've gone to them for advice and they've guided you in the wrong way, wrong place. So it's almost like telling me be cautious about somebody being in your life as a mentor that feels like they know best, but they really don't know what's best for you. Like you've been following their advice, but they've been maybe misleading you, is what I'm getting, Sagittarius. Like, because with this black cat here, black cat could be like somebody that's intuitive. But like this cat's on guard, like about ready to like this cat looks like it's about ready to pounce, almost like it's like almost looking into your soul, like guarding this queen. It's almost like making this queen unapproachable. But it's almost like she knows best. And the sunflower represents like sun energy. I almost get like false friendship, false hope, false friendship, false. This is a false prophet. Somebody that's very false. They seem like they know what they're talking about, but they're actually false. This might be somebody, a mentor, a guide. It might be a spiritual leader. It could be somebody, it's somebody in a position of power in your life, Sagittarius, that has been a false prophet, that has led you astray and has been actually hindering your growth instead of adding to your growth. This is a weird message that came through for you, Sagittarius. But that's what I'm getting is I think during this time, this is going to be, you're going to realize the false prophets around you, the people that have misguided you and have kept you from growing. So it's going to allow you to find people and move in a direction toward people that are actually going to actually help you grow. Where these people in the past or that's in your current life now have been misleading you, and where they, you think you might have been growing, they've actually been misleading you and guiding you down the wrong path. And I think you're going to find that out during this retrograde. That's an interesting message. It always fascinates me what comes up. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Capricorn next? Capricorn. What do you got for Capricorns? What do you got for Capricorns? We have compassion. That came, what's that? Gemini. Gemini, possibly connected to a Gemini, or Gemini is connected to you in some way. Capricorns. This is also compassion for yourself, having compassion. You might be going through a lot during this time too. We'll see what comes up here. The Queen of Swords in reverse. Nine of Swords in reverse. Yeah. I have a feeling that you're too hard on yourself. It's telling me not to have compassion on the places where you're too hard, too critical, too hard on yourself. You might tend to be a perfectionist. You'll have to let me know if you're a Capricorn and you equate with that you might try, you could have a tendency to be judgmental. But this is really telling me this might be somebody that's a perfect, or talking about Capricorns that might tend to have OCD or be perfectionists, and that causes them a lot of stress and anxiety and worry because like they overdo it, or they may try and take on too much, and that leads to a lot of stress and anxiety. And also it's saying, you know, like, be cautious with the words you tell yourself and others. Be cautious of where you might be deceiving others, lying, deceiving. I know that's coming through weird, but, you know, the Queen of Swords is somebody that usually knows and sees the truth. This is somebody that knows the truth because of their knowing, because they know. So, you know, and we have the Neptune energy, which is about going within, introspection to find the answers, using our gut, our intuition. So it might be where you might have a tendency during this time to ignore the truth, to ignore your intuition, and to have compassion if you are ignoring your intuition, and that by ignoring your intuition, it's going to cause you a lot of anxiety. So to get out of this, to experience less anxiety and stress in your life during this time, it's saying to listen to your intuition, listen to your guidance, listen to your truth, instead of deceiving yourself, or not listening to it. You know, not when you have your intuitions coming up and telling you should do something, don't ignore it. Like, actually listen to it. Listen to your inner guidance system. It's going to be super important during this time, Capricorn. Because if you don't, it's going to, you know, you're just going to keep having all the stress and anxiety. This is actually trying to help you. This period of time is actually trying to help you understand what is your truth. Like what like what areas of your life you're causing yourself stress and anxiety that you've been ignoring, things that you've been ignoring, hard truths that you've been ignoring that's led to your stress and anxiety. So if you want to lessen your stress and anxiety, this is the goal during this time, is to lessen your stress and anxiety. And you're going to be able to do that by knowing your truth. Because I feel like this is representing the way you've been doing things. And this is where you want to achieve what you're trying to get to. Okay. I hope that helps. I mean, that's the way it's coming through. Is you are going to need compassion, because I feel like you're going to realize where you've been not serving yourself, that you've been committing to, that you've overburdened yourself. You're going to see some hard truths during this time, is what I feel like. You're going to see some really hard truths about what causes your stress and anxiety. You're going to have some hard truths coming through, Capricorn, is what I really get. I mean, that's why that compassion card's coming through, because you're going to really have some hard truths coming through. Okay, that's too many cards. Sorry, that's too many cards. If they're meant to come back out, they'll come back out. Okay, so Aquarius. What do you got for Aquarius? Nature, getting in touch with nature, grounding yourself. We did briefly touch on grounding during, you know, the Neptune retrograde is good about practicing discernment and grounding, doing grounding work. This is especially important for you, my Aquarius, is get out in nature. Find ways to ground yourself in nature. Get in touch with nature if you don't already. Nature is going to be being in touch, and being around nature is going to be extremely important for you at this time, during this time period, for this growth and introspection for you, for understanding your focus, where you need to focus your priorities. Being in nature is going to help with that. The Four of Wands in reverse and the Nine of Wands. I mean, I feel like all these cards are in reverse for some reason. They're not, but man, they want to come out in reverse. The Nine of Wands in reverse. So this is, there might have been, okay, Aquarius, I'm getting here. The Knight of Wands talks about somebody that's determined, that keeps trying and putting effort in, doesn't want to give up. That's why they're called the wounded warrior, because they'll keep trying. Even though they feel almost defeated, they'll just keep trying. But this is in reverse. So it might be setting down something that you've put a lot of effort into to build. Like, it's almost like telling me there might be an area that you've built, like a foundation that you've built upon, that you need to release and let go of. Like something you fought really hard for to have. Like this foundation, whatever it is in your life, you fought really hard to have this foundation, this structure. And this is saying that you may need to let that go. You may be somebody during this time period that may change up their life, may come to, like, if you get in touch with get out in nature and really, like commune with nature, commune with yourself, or get out in nature and spend time in nature, you may really turn your world upside down. You may realize that the life you're living isn't the life that you want. This is somebody that might, when they're looking at their priorities, realizes, I have been investing in the wrong things all this time. I have been fighting for the wrong things all this time. Like what you were previously fighting for, you're no longer wanting to fight for. What you previously invested in, that you were building your foundation, and you no longer want that foundation. You no longer want that structure. There's something that's going to be, it could be a fundamental, foundational thing. Like it could be a belief that you've had, it could be something like that, where it could be a belief that you've held, or something, like I always thought that I had to work for a company to make it, to have the money I needed to live my life. And that I always had to work at a job, or work for a company. And so you've been working. Maybe you've had a lot of even physical labor, to put a lot of effort and work into working for companies. And then getting back in nature, you realize, I could do this job, this other job that doesn't, like where I work for myself, or, maybe I can become a volunteer for doing something that has to do with, saving the planet, or something like that, where you're like, it's like one of those things, like maybe you were a lawyer and you decide to go and be a forest ranger or something, it's like something like that, where it's like you realize that, what you had built your world around is like, and put a lot of time and effort and energy into, like, that you fought really hard for. You might be giving that up during this time. You may just, say, I can't do this anymore, because this is the wounded warrior, and it's like, and this in reverse, it's like giving up, you know, like giving that up, giving up a structure, a foundation, a foundation you've built upon, you know, for your life. Interesting. That's really interesting, Aquarius. See, if you're Aquarius and you think about it and decide to come back and tell me if you, in the next 6 months, if for whatever reason you remember this reading and decide to come back and let me know, it'd be interesting to hear if you end up like reinventing yourself completely, like completely doing something different, like going after a new job career, you know, job path or profession or something like that, or deciding to uproot your life and go do something different. I get that coming off of those cards. Okay, so we got a lot. Pisces is the last one. We're on Pisces. You got cycles too. Cancer got that as well. Interesting. You're both water signs too. Interesting. So emotions being important, some things you need to look at an emotional scale. I feel like during this time you're going to have Pisces, you're going to have a lot of stuff coming up to look at. The cycles that you've experienced, you might be stuck in some karmic cycles that you need to work on at this time to try and put an end to, is what I'm getting here. I feel like there's things coming up for you that need to be worked on, that need to be looked at, that need to be resolved, that need to be healed within you, is what I'm getting. Queen of Cups, definitely emotions, a lot of emotions coming up. So I like that the Emperor is the Queen of Cups. So this is finding balance. This is really about Pisces. This is finding balance with your emotions and how that affects your actions, okay? Understanding the cycles and the cause and effect of your emotionality. So that's a really strange, message coming through. But that's what's coming through, like understanding your, like how your emotions affect your choices and actions. And are you using them to your best ability? Are the actions you're taking, the cause and effect? Like when you make when you take action under a certain type of emotion, are you having the results that you want? Like when you take action based on a feeling, are you getting the results that you want? Is it actually, what are the cycles? Like looking at that cycle, those patterns based on your emotionality and the actions you're taking based on those emotions and the results that you're getting, to see if there's something that needs to be adjusted that could be done better, so that you can, so you learn like how to invest your emotions properly, knowing what things to really invest in, really give your heart to. What do you really want to give your emotions, your heart, your depth to? Okay? So that you were the last sign. So thank you for all of you that joined me. I appreciate you all so very, very much. I hope this message finds you well and that you resonated with it. If you do, please hit that thumbs up. I know a lot of this you're not going to know right away if it's resonating, but if you like the way I do my readings, or you like me hearing me talk, whatever it is, support me by hitting that thumbs up. If you want to know more of my readings or see more of my readings, you can always hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you know when I post stuff. I do some regular readings always, same times during the week, same ones, but there are some like these that I do around certain events. There's also impromptu readings that I do as well. Like a lot of my love readings are just off the cuff, off the fly when I'm moved to do them, moved to read them. So those are a little more sporadic, but I typically try to do around bigger astrological events, new moons, full moons. I try to hit most of those. And then I also do a weekly energy reading and every 72, the next 72-hour readings. Those are consistent. I try to always do those. So thank you so much for joining me. I wish you all the very best. Much harmony and gratitude to you, my lovely friends. Thank you so much.